I am Nandita Paul. I have been teaching in the teaching profession for the last 15 years. I am qualified in the science stream, and I have joined this Owlish Oracle because I am very passionate about teaching and I want to share my experiences and my knowledge with all my students. So today I am going to teach you fractions in maths. It's a very simple topic, but all the children, they are afraid of it. So fractions means part of a whole. If you recap, means if we, one example I would like to give here is when we cut the birthday cake. A cake is a full whole cake and we make some part of it and share with our friends. So each of the part which is given to our friends, that becomes a fractional part of the whole cake. So let us see what is actually fraction. A fraction is a number in the form where we have a numerator and a denominator. The denominator represents the number of parts that I have cut the cake, which I have already said in the example. And the numerator is the number of part which has been given to my friends. So once again I repeat, the denominator is the how many pieces I have made of the cake, and my numerator is the number of pieces each friend gets. Suppose I give 2 parts, I cut my cake into 5 parts and I give everyone 1 part each. So all my friends get 1 by 5. So 1 is the part which I give to my friend, and denominator, that is the cake which I have cut into 5 parts. Suppose I want to give my special friend some extra. So I try to give her 2 parts out of that 5 part of the cake. So that means her fractional number will be 2 by 5. So numerator and the denominator, the number, again I repeat, denominator is how many parts I am making the cake, cutting the cake into, and numerator is how many part I am sharing with each of my friend. So if I go to the, now denominator can never be equal to 0. I told you why. Because it is always some part will be there. 0 means nothing is there, and I cannot have a denominator 0. A fraction with a numerator of 0 is equal to 0. Means my cake I cut into 4 parts, but I never shared my cake with anybody. So the whole cake is left with me. So it becomes a 0. So the fractional number here is 0. None of the part is cut into. Now same way, if the numerator is larger than the denominator, we call it an improper fraction. So that means I cut my cake into 8 parts, and how can I give 10 parts? That means I need to have something extra. So it is not one whole, it is more than one. So this is called an improper fraction. A proper fraction will be where the numerator is less than the denominator. Where the numerator is more than the denominator, it becomes an improper fraction. And with these fractional numbers, we can perform all basic functions of mathematics, that is multiply, divide, add and subtract. As simple as that. Suppose if we have to multiply, in case of multiplication, we just multiply the numerator with the numerator and denominator with the denominator, and we just multiply and put the result in the form of a fractional number. So here you can see 7 by 8 is one fraction I have, and 4 by 9 is another fraction. I want to multiply both these fractions. So numerator with the numerator, that is 7 into 4 gives us 28, and 8 into 9 gives us 72. So in the similar manner, you can try out with other fractions as well. So You can see 7 into 1. Again, we follow the plain simple rule, numerator into numerator and denominator into denominator. Similar way, you can try out many other fractions, whichever you want, but please try out with the proper fraction, because improper fraction there is a separate method. So that we will discuss in the next day. Today that should be over, and we'll see. I'll meet you in the next class.